Hello and welcome back. In this session, we're going to cover one of the most fun and entertaining ways to improve your study performance, study buddies and study groups. One of the best ways to improve your knowledge retention and recall is to have fun when you're studying, and the best way to do that is to study with others and socialise. There are a couple of key benefits, but first let's start with the most obvious. Studying can be boring and it can be lonely. We've all been there, sat in a room on our own, reading through technical material and feeling isolated. If you study with someone else, either virtually or physically, then you can discuss that information together. You can have a bit of a laugh and you can bring that information to life. But it doesn't just have to be while you're studying. You can arrange to meet after you've both studied a concept to discuss it, to question each other about it, and even to build it out together. It's a great way to reinforce what you have learned. And that's a key part of working with someone else. It's a great way to learn together because you'll have all the different perspectives and ways of thinking or remembering something. When you share and discuss with others, you have to defend what you're suggesting. You have to explain it in detail, but in a simple and easy to understand way. You have to teach it to someone else. And as we know, that is one of the best ways to improve knowledge retention and recall. You could watch lessons together, then pause and discuss them. You could read through documentation together and pick out the key parts. You could come up with analogies for concepts and then explain them to each other. There are so many ways in which you can turbocharge your learning by working together. But it's not just discussing and explaining concepts. One of the most effective ways to take advantage of study buddies and study groups is to challenge each other. You can do this by quizzing and testing each other. That might be asking someone to explain a concept, giving them a scenario and asking them the best way to solve it, or even asking questions such as, what's the difference between a lookup relationship and a master detail relationship? There are quite a few ways to do it. My favourite is when there is business use cases that people have to solve. Everyone goes away, solves it individually, and then comes back and presents their solution to each other. You get to see the different ways of doing things and you will learn something that you didn't know. It's these kind of business use cases that really bring the information to life and add emotion and feelings to them, which then improves our ability to understand and internalise them. I've also seen study groups in which everyone is assigned a concept and then they have to present that concept back to everyone later on with full explanations and examples. Essentially, they need to teach that concept to others. What you'll find with this approach is that you combine a number of study techniques that we've discussed earlier on, and you get to work on your soft skills, your presentation skills, which will help massively when it comes to finding a job and being successful in interviews. Study buddies and study groups are an excellent way to improve your studies and something that I would highly recommend.